my last life, I went missing on my way home for winter break. When they found me, my clothes were torn, and I was lying in an abandoned warehouse with the town's most notorious criminal, a man accused of sexual assault. My parents, ashamed of the scandal, gagged me and tied me up that same day, forcing me to marry him. My sister, meanwhile, stole my identity. She took my acceptance letter and went to an Ivy League university in New York, but her stolen life wasn't a fairy tale. For 3 years, she was bullied by rich, entitled students until her reputation was destroyed. In the end, she jumped from the top of a campus building. Ironically, my life took a different turn. The year after I got married, the truth came out. My husband was innocent. He had been framed by his billionaire father's illegitimate son. My husband cleared his name, inherited a multi-billion-dollar empire, and took me abroad to live a life of luxury. Everyone back home envied me. Now, I've been reborn. But this time, my sister rushed into that warehouse first. When I arrived with the search party, she was already entangled with my husband from my past life. Seeing us, she smirked triumphantly. Sis, this perfect husband is mine this time. You go to that fancy school and suffer. I stepped forward to pull her away, but the man shoved me back. He shielded her, glaring at me coldly. Don't touch her. Get lost. I swallowed the bitterness. That very night, I boarded the train to New York. My sister, Bella, stood in the dim light of the warehouse, her clothes disheveled but her smile victorious. She looked like she had finally snatched the prize she'd been coveting for a lifetime. Mom, Dad, I want to marry him. I want to marry him today. In that moment, her triumphant grin stabbed me. In my previous life, right before she died, she came to find me. She used the excuse of bringing me homemade jam to get into our villa. Then she pulled a knife and lunged at me, screaming hysterically. Before she could reach me, the bodyguards pinned her down. She struggled, cursing me. Lily, that night, I saw you get drugged and dragged away. I deliberately didn't save you. I waited until the next day to leave the village to find you. I wanted you ruined. I wanted Mom and Dad to give me your acceptance letter. I thought going to New York, going to college, would make me elite. She laughed and cried at the same time. Instead, those rich kids treated me like a dog. They ruined my reputation and forced me to drop out. Now I have nothing. Why should you, an illiterate wife of a rapist, have everything? It's not fair. If I could do it over, I'd never switch with you. You should be the one suffering in New York. When the police arrived to arrest her, she broke free and jumped out the window. Reborn, she beat me to the warehouse. She made sure to seal the deal with Liam, who had been drugged into a stupor. The man's eyes were still unfocused, but hearing her demand marriage, his ears turned red. He looked down at her, his voice solemn and clumsy. I'll take responsibility. I'll treat you well for the rest of my life. It was exactly what he had promised me in our past life. My parents exploded first. My mom slapped me across the face. Hard. What kind of sister are you? If you were watching her, how did she end up here with this animal? You ruined your sister. Why don't you just die? They tried to drag Bella away, refusing to let her marry him. They said the town only knew a daughter was compromised, not which one. They could just make me the scapegoat. Make me marry him. Even though this life was already different, I was still the one being pushed into the fire. My heart turned to ice. Bella whispered something in their ears. My parents' expressions changed slowly. They looked at the man again, skeptical but intrigued. Finally, they nodded. If it's true like you say, then you should marry him. If it's a lie, you can just run away later, and we'll make your sister take your place. Bella seemed terrified I would steal him back. She insisted on holding the wedding banquet that very night and forced me to help prepare. The whole town knew she had been compromised by Liam, the local pariah with a record. Instead of seeking justice, she was rushing to marry him. Everyone called her shameless. No one wanted to come inside for the banquet.